Hey, glad to see you guys back on the channel. If it's your first time, if you could like this. I guess I found out a little bit something starting a YouTube channel, so I wasn't too concerned with the subscribers and the likes and on comments and all that. Like I said, it's not the monetary value that I'm looking for, but I'm looking for help. So what I'd like you to do is just subscribe. That way you get notifications of the videos coming out, because I've had a really great experience. I really appreciate everybody that's been here. The reason for that is that I had lots of questions about this car and some of the features and stuff on it. So today's video, as far as talking about the mysteries that still lie in this car, I'd really like to find out more about it. So I've done stuff, I've had people help me with the VIN tag. So I was going to put that in this video, but I'm struggling. So I tried to do that prior to doing this, but we'll see what we can do for the body tag and the VIN. And Hubie turned me on to Classic Industries. Have a really good website there where you can search in their news and find 55, 56, 57. So one of the things that I discovered there was this two-tone that this has on it. And one of the viewers talked about, being light color for the base color and a dark color for the, don't pay attention to the hood, a dark color for the accent, which is kind of, in 56, this was the only one they did that on. So the only one that had the light base and the dark two-tone was this two colors of green, which I can't remember the names. Can't remember the names of the green right now, but that's what I'm going to try to just put in the pictures where I went there and seen it, try to point to the one I have. But in 56, this was the only year they did that. So so what we're going to do today is there's some other things. I had things laying on the table that people had pointed out. I had some people point some things out in the comments. They were kind of questions. Some of them were trying to help me along and tell me what it might be. So with this one, some of the unanswered ones I'm going to go over, or some of the ones that people had pointed out that I probably would have just spaced, not even known about it. I'm going to point out that way, maybe somebody can use this for their own, just education. I'm just trying to learn as much as I can with Tri-5s and Nomads and all of that. So that's what the video is going to be about today. So like I said, if you can subscribe, that way you're going to get future ones, because I'm sure I'm going to have more questions. And there's a lot of guys out there with a bunch of information. And one of the things I noticed on my channel was more than 50% of them are 65 or older. So I think it's very important that we capture all that information and have it for the next generation. Because when you looked at my subscribers, between, I think it starts like 18 to 25, there was none. 25 to 35, there may have been one. And everybody else is 30, the majority is over 65. So let's get it on video and, get it in the comments so that we can share. So that's what we're going to do today. So we'll start off with the big one. Somebody said, is this a automatic or is this a manual car? Because there's some conflict there. So I'll show you what it is and then tell me if you can help me out. All right, here we are underneath the car. So you guys haven't seen this yet. So I'm gonna go underneath the car here and try to, point some things out. There's a few things that a viewer pointed out to me. So one of the mysteries of today, if somebody leave a comment, let me know what's going on, is, so again, I think we've already determined it's got a 283 in it. If I can find the picture, I'll put the block numbers on there, but it was a 283. So nothing too surprising there. There's the transmission. So like I said, I can't get the shifter to move. So I assume, and I'm looking at this thinking that this is the original transmission in it, but a viewer picked something up and asked me a question. So trying to understand, is there anything, like I didn't see anything on the body tag or the VIN that really tells that's automatic or manual car. So I'm pretty sure, just looking around on the internet, that this is the 3-speed transmission. If I'm wrong, let me know. This is the shifter and the linkage that somebody put hacked in there. They just folded back the floor pan. But like I said, I gotta get this car moving, so drive shaft's gonna be coming out of it at some point here. But I'm trying to hold light and hold the camera so you guys can see it's not very bright out here today. Not just me, but the sun's not very bright. But I'm looking around, right, and I'm going up in here. You can always slow down the video. Hopefully I'm not giving you motion sickness. But there's the clutch rod, all right? And then I'm looking up through here, and you know, you can see so you guys, I'm sure, the guys that know, looks like that's the bell crank, right, for the clutch. And then we'll get a shot of the steering column here in a minute. But so keep that in mind, because the next thing I'm gonna go over is is this an automatic or manual transmission car? All right, so here's something somebody pointed out to me, and it's got me a little thinking here, right? So we got this manual shifter in the floor, which I don't think anything came with the shifter in the floor, but then we looked over here, and obviously the accelerator pedal's missing. We got a brake and a clutch pedal, but the instrument cluster, right, is an automatic. So it's got park, reverse, neutral, drive, low. So was this an automatic car that somebody put a 3-speed in out of something else? Or was it manual and somebody put a different cluster in it? So I mean, when I look at the cluster, I mean, I know, I get it, guys. These things are 70 years old, but solving these mysteries is, like I said, I don't know. In the VIN, it doesn't say that. In the body tag, I don't think it says it there. But if anybody knows some other telltale signs, you know, let me know. Like I said, we're gonna go over the transmission. We're going to what's underneath when I get there. But so, you know, looking down here's the steering column, and I thought, and you guys correct me, right? So this lever here, get the plug wire out of the way, right? Is this column an automatic column? Because I thought the ones that were manual had 2 of these, right? For the shift rods. I only see 1, but again, then this is missing 2. Is there supposed to be a cover there? I don't know. I mean, the push, you know, the rod's here for the clutch, right? The bell crank. We'll look at that underneath here in a minute. But is there a way to tell? How do you know for sure if this started life as a manual or an automatic? So, like I said, I had a viewer point that out. I didn't even notice it. I just assumed, you know, like everything else I do, that this was a manual transmission car. Let me walk around the other side because I can't really get in. This is another reason I gotta get this thing to be a roller. I don't have I got this cheap lift, so you can't really get in and out of the doors because it's so, anyways, at least I can't because I'm not exactly skinny. But there's the column. I mean, can you tell from the column? Is that an automatic column, or is that, I don't know. And I'd like to get up underneath there to take a video, you know, of the pedals, but is there anything giving this away tells me if this car started off as an automatic or a manual, because I actually want to make it whatever it was when it started. And it wouldn't bother me a bit if it was an automatic. So let me try. I'll do another little short video here of the pedals and up underneath there. So here's up underneath there. From what I can see, the wiring looks lovely, but again, what do you expect? It's 7 years old. I don't think it's, well, there's a kind of, is that a giveaway there? What is that, the neutral safety switch, or? Can't really get to it. I don't know. Can't see it. Yeah. Being as small as I am, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but I'm not really the smallest guy. I can't really see or tell. But again, I mean, it looks like, I assume that's the factory column, only just because it's green, right? I mean, if they could have stuck anything in here, and yeah, so that's a clutch pedal. It does move. Brake pedal moves all the way to the floor. Plenty of range there. But guess while I'm in here, might as well just look around. I don't know what else is in here. But anyways, the mystery for me is, did it start off being an automatic or manual? So, anybody notice that freeze plug's missing? Yeah. So anyways, but as I go down through here, like I said, you know, it looks like most original mounts. There's floor pans, right? That exhaust, it's been on there for a while. It's a dual, I don't know what that is, about 2 inches. Floor pans, you can see the back side of the rockers. So it's kind of weird, you know, it's pretty bad up there. Some of it doesn't look too bad, some of it's, and again, that frame, which you pointed out, one piece frame, that's underneath the back seat, and braces, and so I know, one piece floor pan for sure. And that's why I said, like, when we get that board out of here today, you know, I'm looking up through here, trying to give you guys some light, and it looks pretty decent from underneath. I knocked off some of that undercoating, and the floor looks pretty decent. But again, I don't know. Under the gas tank, you can see next to that shock's got some rot. But there's only one little spot in the frame. There's the rear end, so not like a posi, or it doesn't have a P case or anything like that. But there was only, you know, this undercoating or whatever. I don't know if it, where was the one spot? I might have the lift where the one little spot. Oh no, here's the spot in the frame that I found when I was looking underneath. So I have to figure out what we're gonna do there, because probably just fill it in, cut the bat out. Like it says, it has this trailer hitch, which is pretty unique. So doesn't look like it's gonna go anywhere. Looks like they welded it right on the frame here. So, and that's why I said, like the quarters and stuff, I mean, it does need some little patches, but not, I don't think the whole things need to be replaced. And then if you go to here, guess we're no more when we strip them down. But somebody tell me why these Nomads all rust there on that, right in front of the wheel well, how the dirt collects there or something. Because the other side, pretty much same thing, right? But when you look at the wheel well opening, lip and all, I mean, this doesn't look too bad to me. I mean, I don't think it's worth replacing all of it instead of just welding in a few patches. There's some more of the back floor that I'm aware it's, look at that tire. That's a slick there. So, like I said, when you look around the bottom, obviously the rockers, and hopefully you guys can see where the black paint is that they put on there. You know, the rockers. This door has a pretty good sized dent in it right there. But I don't know, tell me what you think. I think from this trim, that trim line down, do some work and clean it up and keep it from rusting anymore. But the rest of it, I think that's so weird. The gas tank is, I mean, I didn't rub anything on it, doesn't have oil on it or anything like that. It's just what it looked like. So, well, anyways, we'll go from here. So the other mystery, here's that other tire. It's pretty cool. These tires have tubes. See the tube there? So, but yeah, I gotta get this thing rolling. So next video, if it's a video at all, is gonna be me smashing them brake drums, getting them suckers off. And I got some wheels. So I'll probably do a short on the wheels that I picked up. Go from there. So, like I said, think about that manual transmission, and let's take a look at something a viewer pointed out to me. All right, so one of the things I was asking about, several people pointed it out. I guess it just shows my lack of details on these cars, is the thing to keep from scratching the paint. So this one obviously had one on it, right? At one time, it's got the holes. So look at that. I learned something. Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? So with that being said, this one was missing. And then see if I can hold these the correct way. Now there's two more. Not that they're in great shape, but so after somebody pointed out what these were, by going around the car and looking, ironically, the driver's side was there, and I didn't pay attention. So, and that's kind of where I seen the screw that holds it on. So that's pretty cool. So that's something else I learned. If you're new to Tri-5s, not that I am, but I'm new to Nomads, but I never knew them in this level of details that you guys are giving me. So thanks for that, and move on to the next one. Okay, here's another one of those finds that I don't think it's a factory thing, but somebody let me know. Interesting that it's here. So this here looks like a weather strip that goes across here. Is that the regular weather strip? Because to me, I guess it probably is. I don't know, somebody let me know, because I'm sure Don knows, but it looks like an old tire. It looks like a tire that somebody maybe cut down and made a weather strip out of it, but it's got these brackets and stuff on it. So is that just unique to a Nomad? That is the strangest thing I'd ever seen. So that would be something else I'd like to have an answer to. So if you know, let me know and let everybody else know. So here's some great information for you guys too that I learned. As I said, learned so much from everybody leaving comments and stuff, so I really appreciate it. And I believe it was Hubie, probably again. But when I was asking about these trim pieces, right, like on the front fender, one of the things that he pointed out was about having this angle on it, right, to make sure you get the right piece. So there's definitely, a top and a bottom piece, and it's angled for when the door opens and closes. So what I did find, the one piece that I did have from the other side, see if there's a good way to get a shot of this, is this. I compared to this side. So the other side you know, there's the angle piece that would go towards the door on the other side. And then again, so that's gonna really help me for when I'm looking for, so this on the other side, you can imagine it being, you know, looking at it from this direction. So with that angle being on the back and this spear being on the front, on the left front fender, it appears I need to find this piece, right? But the opposite, so that this piece here will be fitted into here, right? And it'll go down. And then again, kind of weird way to film this, but when I get down to this end, that it has that angle going the correct direction. So looks like I'm missing, this would be, the one I'm missing would be the top piece on the left-hand side, which I did notice when you do look at this, right? The top piece on the left-hand side is the bottom piece on the right-hand side. So that's pretty cool that they, you know, thought enough about it that you could do that. So that's the one thing. And then again, Hubie, pretty sure pointed this out to me, is here's the two door trims. So I knew I had the one and the other one we found, but again, it has to do with this angle on the front, right? So that when this is on here, I think I got these on here, right? I tried to lay them on the lift, you know, the same way they went on the car. But this top one, right, I believe it's like this on the front. If I'm wrong, let me know. I might have them backwards. But the one end that goes down there, right, it's squared. And then the one that goes here at the front has a little angle, so it kind of, you know, doesn't fit over top, but pretty sure that's the way that goes. So, and again, just knowing, you know, which is top and which is bottom. So it looks like I have this for both front doors. And the way I confirmed that was when I looked at this door, I assume these probably haven't been off, but you can, well, the fender's sticking out, but you can see where it, you know, overhangs the door a little bit. So I'm good there. So it just looks like I need the top side for here. So that'll give me something to go look at the flea markets for. So let's move on to the next thing that I learned that I feel like I said, a lot of this was in the comments. So I just wanted to make the video so people could see it visually. All right, here we go. We're gonna uncover this together. So I haven't looked underneath here yet, and you can see the tools are laying in there. If you can imagine a guy 6'4", 285 pounds laying in there backwards with his head sticking out this way, trying to get these little tiny screws out. Right, and like I said, I think somebody had carpet. I mean, it looks like shag carpet to me, but I did get this out. I think I can clean these up. So together, I guess, we get these out of the way. So Don said save those. Now I see they do look like factory stuff. So there's the first time these have been up, and I couldn't tell you how long. So let's see what we got underneath here. I won't worry about that for now. Had to grind the screws off a couple of heads. Like I said, the furthest two in the back appeared to be like rivets. So let me get this stuff out of the way here. We'll pull up that board and see what kind of excitement we have. If we can find any other treasures, because I've been through it all now. So, big pile of trash, and so let's see what's underneath here. Well, okay, looks like I left some screws in. So I think that chrome piece across the top, I thought maybe it'd slide out from underneath there. But it looks like this skinny guy's gonna have to crawl back in there and work on those screws across the top. So I get those out, I'll be back. Alrighty, we're gonna try this one more time. And I think I heard from about 60 miles away, Big Don's Hot Rod Garage yelling, "No, you big dummy, there's more screws. There's more screws." So I found them. So wasn't able to do much with that mat. So this was completely off last time anyways. But yeah, there's some perimeter, like there's like one here, one in the corner, maybe 3 or 4 across the top. Who puts plywood in cars when you're building them anyways? So anyways, I got them all out and I didn't peek. So I just lifted it a little bit to make sure that we were successful this time yanking it out. So appreciate the help there, Dono. So here we go. Let's see what we got. How bad is it? You guys in these YouTube videos, one-handed tricks here. That's out. So here's what we got. Kind of curious. So there's a pretty good hole there. And over there, I'm sure Don probably knew what to expect. And I don't think it's that bad. Most of these places that I see here, looks like it's pretty flat. I mean, I'll probably find more when I get under there, but for the most part, I mean, it's not the worst floor I've ever seen. I mean, up there by the shocks, you guys ain't gonna see me climbing there, but I guess that shock there maybe, I can't really tell. I have to get my other light out here. And it's dead. So I'll vacuum this up. I think that's just green stuff laying on that, where that shock bolts through. But I'll charge up my other light, run the shop back here, and pull those screws and extra stuff out of there, and we'll see what it looks like after we vacuum it. Okay, we're back after a pretty good sweeping in there. So I don't know, at first I thought it wasn't so bad, but then I'm starting to, after I vacuumed, you're starting to see a little bit of pitting everywhere, even in the channel there, around that shock. Definitely that one looks pretty good. So probably be one of those deals where after the gas tank comes out and get a better look from the bottom. And I mean, it's pretty rough. The braces look great. It's just that top sheet metal piece isn't looking so hot. But the rest of it, this back part here is not too bad at all. It must be from the wood. The harness comes back through here. This is all real solid. It's the same way on the other side. So I'll work on cleaning it up some more. But I'm kind of at a standstill to where I got to make this thing a roller. I got a car coming in, truck, my son-in-law's truck. We got to work on it this weekend, and we need to lift, and I don't feel like dragging this thing in and out all the time. So got to get something done with these lift gate things. I've been spraying them down with PB Blaster and that Croil, and it's not really making much difference. So probably gonna have to get them off there. So maybe just soak them in something. But I really want to get this thing washed up because a lot of it is just dirt on top of this thing. And like I said, I try not to disturb the dirt too much. You can see the windows here. I mean, it's still barn fresh, if that's what you want to call it, except for what blew off of it going down the road. This thing is way, way dirty. So I got to get it washed, but I'm going to have to get it rolling. So probably going to change up from the cleaning and the discoveries. I think, you know, some things, it's really not. I thought it was going to be a lot worse on everything that we've looked at today. So I'm going to go ahead and probably get ready to close this down for tonight. I'll add some photos and leave some comments, and we'll go from there. Thanks. So I told you I was going to work on some of the that big pile of stuff that we swept out of the car, because that video wasn't going the way I wanted to. So I really didn't have time to sort through it. I'm sure it would have been really boring for you guys. So this is what I found in that pile of stuff that I swept out. So one thing's kind of odd about all of that is the fact that that carburetor there, that base, that was not in the car. But when I drug it out of that garage, it got hooked up underneath the exhaust. And my son-in-law, when he was here, he's like, check this out. He goes, how did this get underneath this car? It was up on the axle or something. I'm not exactly sure, but I thought it was hilarious that that thing got pulled, got up underneath there and got drug out. So the things that I know that I found today, I assume that's the accelerator pedal. I found the two other handles, the door pull and the vent window. And then there's a bottle cap. Now, I don't know if anybody can make out what that is or looks familiar to you, but if you do, let me know in the comments. I'm just curious what it is. That, and I'm not sure this green here. At first I thought it might have been that for that ball for the cable, but no, it's not. That plate for the ball and cable is a little thicker. We also found some Johnson's medicated stuff. Don't think I'd diaper rash, but found some other bolts. Those are just lug nuts that was laying in there. So nothing too major. Found another seat button, and but other than that, nothing really. I don't, like I said, except for this one green thing here. If you guys know what that's from or off of or whatever, it's kind of got a flat side on it here. And I mean, it's obviously out of the back somewhere, I'd assume. So if you know it looks familiar to you, let me know. And then again, I got these off. Thanks, Dawn, for keeping me from getting mad and just tearing those off. But this was the piece that was across the front, and it was broke when I got it. You can see it's corroded, but it'll be fine. And then these, half the screws were missing, and then these two down at the end, I mean, I kind of had to take my cutoff wheel and just kind of shave the top off of it and drill the screw out to get it off. So, you know, if we're at this point in the video, we're about ready to take up that board out back. So, guys, let me know if you see anything or know anybody's got one of those plates for the cable. Like I said, you know, from last time, I had these other handles, so looks like I got a whole set of handles. And here's that ball thing. So the bracket that goes over that on the tailgate, haven't been able to locate that. So unless it's up under the car, which didn't see it up underneath there, or shows up, that's about it. So next thing we're do is I'm gonna do a little video of, you know, other discoveries or other questions that we have, or I have. So if you guys can contribute, let me know. Thanks. All right, guys, if you made it this long, I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Like I said at the beginning of the video, maybe I was a little, what I want to say. Anyways, my very first video I made, I said I wasn't worried about subscribers and likes and all that, but I see now that it'll be really nice if more people subscribe from the perspective that the notification. So if you could subscribe, I still need plenty of feedback. There's lots of fellas that are giving me all kinds of details on this thing that we covered today, which are going to be insurmountable for, instead of me trying to learn it all by trial and error or going around and looking at car shows. The stuff you guys are telling me is really valuable, I think, for me deciding the direction of this car. Like I said, you know, I think I'm going to try to keep it as stock as I can. I got other cars that I can play around with on the street and stuff like that, but this one here, just because of the rarity of, you know, some of the stuff we covered earlier, or that I'm trying to cover earlier in the videos, for being a light colored base and a dark colored two-tone. This was just one color for that year and stuff like that. So that and the whole, you know, the budget, right? I'm not going to put $50,000, $60,000 in this car. I just don't have the budget for that. So I want to do as much as I can to preserve it and to get it running and driving and enjoy it for a while. And then someday my kids will figure out what to do, right? So for me, it's just a hobby. It's just something fun to do. So I talked about earlier in the video of there was a couple things I expected to find today. So I went through that big pile, like I said earlier, the big pile of stuff that swept out of the car and stuff, and I did find those items. But the one thing I didn't find that I was actually looking for is the cable holder bracket. So on the left side of the tailgate, it has the ball that the cable goes in, and then there's a bracket that goes over top of it. I didn't find that. And then also from one of the viewers we were talking, I tried to read all the comments. One of the other things that was talked about that I expected to find and I did not find at all was money. There was not a single penny in this car. I had a viewer comment about, you know, if you find any quarters, nickels, dimes, whatever, you know, from that year and how long it's been saved, it'd probably be real silver and stuff. Not that, you know, you're going to get rich off of it or anything, but there was not a single penny, nickel, dime, quarter, anything in this car. So I thought that was kind of weird. I was like, man, whoever had it must have been as tight as I am, right? Must be as cheap as me, because they didn't leave any change in it anywhere. So, but anyways, I appreciate you guys all subscribing and, you know, liking and commenting. I'm learning a bunch. I want to be able to follow this car as much as I can. But like I said, you know, earlier today is I have to get this thing rolling. Winter's coming in Ohio. We just happen to have another pretty decent day, but I really want to get this thing cleaned out. I want to get it washed. I want to get, you know, some whatever. I mean, leave me some comments about what really is going to preserve this, as far as, you know, like I said, it'll probably be a patina car. I'm probably going to touch some of it up, but I really want to try to address some of the rust on here, fix what I can. But my building, as you can tell, it's not heated, and lighting, I have lighting, but most of it's, you know, extension cords and stuff like that. So I'm going to probably try to get some lights up this winter, but it really limits me on what I'm able to do. So like I said, leave some comments down below. I hope you found today's video interesting. I did. I mean, there was so much stuff that people have pointed out to me over the last 2 videos. So I just wanted to share it with everybody else. So thanks, and I'll see you on the next video.